Hey, what is going on? Jason Wright here. This is our first of a whole bunch of future cigar reviews. Today I'm going to be smoking one of my favorites, the Monte Cristo White Label, or White Series as they call it. Smells familiar and good. Not sure if the camera picked that up well or not, but hopefully it does right there. Retail of this cigar, man, if you buy it online, probably $9 to $11 a stick per cigar, just a guess. Let's get into it. So I'm using a straight cutter today. Use whatever you like, straight punch, V-cut, whatever works for you. I like a straight cut because I feel like it draws pretty well. I also like the sensation that the straight cut provides as it gets into the cigar. And I always tell people with this particular cigar, if you're new to cigars or a first-time smoker, if this is too much for you, no problem, but cigars are not for you. Not always, but generally the lighter wrapper can be an indicator of strength. This one's like medium to a bit lighter, which is fine. Could potentially be dealing with some weather that way. Don't know yet. So yesterday, I live on the coast in Georgia. Yesterday I'm staring at the weather app. According to it, 0% chance of rain. According to radar, we're going to get hammered. This is yesterday night and we got hammered. So that's how it works around here. You got to look at radar, and even then sometimes it's pouring and nothing's on radar. So I'm using a triple flame, get it started. That sucker is hot. Man, I got into that one good, didn't I? Alright, I usually use a triple flame to light. And then I will switch over to a single flame if I'm just trying to kind of touch up that edge, if I'm being OCD. Just more precise. Now this cigar, I'm going to kind of review just the different parts of the smoke. So you've got the initial light up, or the first third, and I'll stop the video and I'll start again the second third, and hopefully the final third, if the weather cooperates. So we'll see. This cigar I've probably had, honestly, 20 plus times. This right here, I don't know what the ring gauge is. The ring gauge is a width. It might be like a 52 millimeter. It's a Robusto, so it's approximately 5 inches long. That's kind of my preferred length. You get into anything longer, like a Toro is generally 6 inches, a Churchill 7. There's a bunch of different sizes. It becomes a time commitment. So if I'm smoking socially, I've got a buddy or a couple buddies, that's 6 inch, that 7 inch for sure. But just me, I'll generally roll with a Robusto or shorter. Cigar is just ridiculously consistent. And what I mean by that, it's always the same experience, which I appreciate. As you see, it draws really well, really easy. Smoke output is always exceptional. And the notes, the flavors are generally very similar. For me, a light cedar flavor is present, which isn't bad. And if you're new to smoking or you're experienced, you've got your kind of preferred flavors. For me, the pepper that some people get is that is not a flavor that I enjoy in cigars. Now, if we're talking barbecue or chili or soup, bring on the black pepper. Cigars, not so much. So the camera is set to kind of blur the background. That is my real background. You can see a bit of a lake behind me. So I'm in Georgia. Florida's less than a mile that way. So gives you some idea where I'm at. But the funny thing about living here is weather can come from anywhere. Come from anywhere. Come from northeast, southwest. Not sure if you can hear that in the background, but if you do, on the other side of this area back here, hot tub just fired up, reheating itself. So I'm out here alone, it's making a bit of noise, and it is what it is. Now, a lot of times when I have a cigar, I do enjoy a pairing of bourbon or something like that. Today I'm going with a non-alcoholic pairing. I'm not sure if you're into it or not, but bubbly. Their flavors of sparkling waters. I don't know how they do it. This is orange cream. It's like a dreamsicle. There's no sugar or anything in here. No calories, no sweeteners, all smiles. I don't know how they do it. It tastes like it's nothing but sugar. It's really, really flavorful, but yeah, it's good for you. What's interesting about what you drink with a cigar, it affects the flavors that you pull out of the cigar. It's pretty interesting. So a cigar this size might be, I don't know, depending on how you take it, 45 minutes to an hour on average to get through it. If you smoke it faster, obviously it'll burn a little quicker, but what's the rush, right? People ask me all the time, they say, why do you smoke cigars? Why would you want to do that to yourself? Well, for one, you're not inhaling it. It's not a cigarette, right? You bring it into the jaws and you exhale, and it's meant to create a period of relaxation, and it'll do that for you two ways. One is for the next hour, so what I'll be doing, I could walk around and golf or do yard work or something while smoking a cigar, or ride a golf cart. We've got a golf cart neighborhood, but sitting right here, kind of in the back of our pool area, I call this area the lounge. A couple of these Adirondack chairs. This is it's a great spot for it. So it causes me to relax, and then towards the middle or the end of the cigar, there's usually a nicotine hit that provides a feeling of relaxation as well. So it's kind of a two-trick thing there. This cigar typically doesn't change much throughout the different thirds. This is one that you will not wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, I smoked a strong cigar last night. It's fairly light as far as flavor. And the strength of a cigar can be deceiving, so the flavor could be lighter, but the nicotine punch could be medium to strong. So just because the wrapper's light doesn't mean it's not strong. But this one is, I would call it very mild. If you wanted to smoke it earlier in the day, you could do it. It's not going to keep you up all night. It's got a pleasant flavor. For me, it's like a light wood flavor. The cedar really comes through. It's light though. It's not, it's not overpowering at all. Kind of funny. I see this smoke wavering on the foam shotgun mic I have on this camera, and I was like, that sucker's gonna have a cigar smell to it, which is fine with me. I will get back with you when I kind of get this into the second third, let you know if there's any changes or anything. If you have any questions for me about this cigars in general, it's not everything that this channel or this particular playlist is about, but it's a piece. Smoke, flow, and grow. Here's the smoke. And before I get out of here, we'll talk a bit about the grow here. So, do you want to hear something interesting? Not as much this year as last year, but I spend a lot of my time when I do travel for business, going to events. A lot of them have been real estate events the last couple of years, and talking to people about life and about business after the event's done for the day. And I've had some of the best conversations and made some of the best connections and built some of the best friendships in cigar lounges or outside of hotels or outside of restaurants in beautiful places. Generally there's a cigar involved, there's two or more people, it's relaxing, and it's completely unfiltered, and it's completely casual and completely organic, and it is just a powerful experience that I've gotten to enjoy time and time again. So The Smoke Flow and Grow isn't just a catchy title, it's a real thing I've experienced. And I'm trying to use the internet to create that experience at a larger scale, right? I can't be in person everywhere with everybody all the time, so how do you do that virtually? It is something I'm determined to figure out for sure. All right, we'll get back to you when we get a little bit further into this cigar. That's good. Hey, what's up? Not quite to the second third yet. Still got a nice little ash head going, but had some questions for you. What is your cigar of choice? Drop in the comments. Let me know. I play this game with my buddies all the time that are into cigars and say, well, if you could only have access to 5 cigars for the rest of your life, what would they be? And I could figure out 3 of them. One would be this. One would be the Churchill series from Davidoff. So they have a late hour, which is dark, and they have a regular, which is lighter. The lighter one of those is like this, but even better. Maybe 3 times the price or 2 times the price, but like 15% better. It's that law of diminishing return. So there's 2, and then the Punch Classico is my favorite budget stick. But then the other 2, it's pretty hard for me to pick because there's so many cigars I like. I bounce between the light stuff and darker Maduros, darker stuff, Nicaraguas, etc. So I bounce around a little bit. Well, what about you? And if you smoke cigars, what do you typically pair yours with? The different video I made today, I was talking about business a little bit, and I was drinking a little Eagle Rare 10-year. If you're a bourbon person and in the mood for some bourbon with your cigar, that bourbon is excellent for the money. 45, 50 bucks a bottle, something like that. Very heavy on the caramel, maybe a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of wood. So it pairs beautifully with a cigar like this. Really, really good. So, but like I said, no alcohol today, not right now. But curious to know what you guys are into. Even as I get into this a bit, this is what I think brings me back to it. It's just smooth, man. It mellows out. It starts off pretty mellow, but just smooths out even more. It's the outcome of good aging, patient aging. These haven't been in my humidor long, but I know they were in a humidor before they got to me. So all of that matters. And I like a nice, airy, easy draw. So when I'm inhaling, the sensation is no resistance. If I have a plugged cigar, I have to almost feel like I'm sucking to get air through it. It's not a good experience. It's pretty frustrating, honestly. They make draw tools and all that, but my thought is you shouldn't have to do that. If I'm using a draw tool, it's not going to be a good experience. But I also like vicious smoke output. I don't know, something about the smoke, even if you're by a campfire, right? Looking at smoke just relaxes the mind. It's easy to pull a bunch of smoke out of, which I like. Awesome. And every time I go to the dentist, I get the cancer screen on the mouth, no cancer. And I don't smoke a ton of cigars. I might smoke, I think there's a misconception. People that know like cigars think I smoke every day. No way. I might smoke 2 or 3 a month, to be honest with you, on average. Not a ton. So, like any vice in life that you enjoy, you try not to let it take over your life or go crazy with it. But 2 or 3 a month's fine. It's cheaper that way and a little healthier, maybe. And it's not an addicting thing for me at all. I could never smoke another cigar and be just fine. I could be just as happy back there on that dock throwing lures right now for big old Georgia bass. So it's just a means to relax, and I enjoy it alone, honestly. It is great with the company of a good friend, or even the company of new friends, new people. So cigar culture, as I'll call it, is a way that people from all walks of life can come together. I can't tell you the amount of interesting people, you know, probably lower income all the way up to self-made millionaires and everything in between I've met around cigars, and nobody cares, man. People are all there for the same reason, to enjoy the conversation, to enjoy the experience, to unplug from the busy commitments of life for 45 minutes to an hour at a time. So that's what it is all about. All right, I'm gonna let this thing burn down, let you know if it changes. I will tell you, even right now, the cedar is maybe a 1 out of 10. Very light. It's a little creamy. This would pair wonderfully. Let's go a different direction. This would pair great with a coffee, like a breakfast blend or a medium. If you like stuff in your coffee, white chocolate mocha, any of that stuff would pair wonderfully. It's a very versatile stick that, like I said, if you smoke this and you're like, God, that was awful. My opinion, not a professional, but my opinion, cigars are not for you. It's just not. It's about as unintrusive of a flavor that I've ever had, and I've smoked a whole bunch. So, all right, I will see you back here in just a little bit. Well, it is definitely go time for this, my friends. I'm into the second third, and I have 0% confidence I'm going to make it to the final third based on the weather. If you listen, you're probably going to hear some thunder. Right over my shoulder here, between this vegetation and this house behind me, there's a thunderstorm headed my way. 10, 15, maybe up to 25 minutes till we get hit, and then there is a much bigger thunderstorm headed my way that probably won't get here until early hours of the morning. So coastal life, that's how it goes. And it doesn't rain like this all the time. It's a summer thing. So I will tell you, but I'm not going to get political on you here, but we are in some weird times right now. Weird times. End of July 2024, less than 100 days from an election. Doesn't matter who you're voting for. Things are going to get weird no matter what. So, what is my advice for you? My advice is control what you can control. If you think there's stuff you might need the next 90 days, now's a good time to get it. You know, for me, it's easy to justify power outage type stuff because I live in, you know, in a place that can get hit by hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. And it's a great place to live. It's not all doom and gloom. So I try to be ahead of the curve with stuff anyway. But if you're the type of person that always waits to the last minute to do stuff, you remember 2020? I don't know that you want to do that. So that's about as much as I'll say about that. Cigar is good. Flavor has changed. It's so subtle and so gradual. I guess I don't typically notice. The cedar is pretty much gone at this point. It is like I'll call it toasted oak type flavor. The nicotine flow is happening, so you get that feeling of kind of extreme relaxation, and that's the beauty of a good cigar. You get that gradual increase in kind of that nicotine hit, which is euphoric on the brain. And I'm not a chemist or an expert, but it's kind of the experience. So it saddens me, but this cigar is probably going to get cut short. I can pretty much guarantee you. So what do I think about the Monte Cristo White series, or the Monte Cristo White as I call it? Well, I always keep them in my humidor. I typically buy cigars in either single sticks or 5-packs. I don't have a humidor to accommodate boxes or 20 packs or anything. I could accommodate a 20 pack, but it would take up 2 of my 3 humidors. I just have simple jar style acrylic humidors. You can buy them on Amazon for like 20 bucks or less. Have the Bavita packs, which are supposed to help keep the humidity about 69 degrees. Conditions in the home will make that vary a bit, but I don't think I've ever pulled one out and said, man, this thing's too wet, too dry. I don't know if I just saw lightning or if that was lights in my house flickering. We'll see. If I shut this off abruptly, I'll let you know. It may just all of a sudden start pouring, so we have no idea, but we'll ride it out as long as we can. Great cigar for the money. A minute ago, before I came back on here, the thunder has been behind me, but jumped right over the top of me. I was like, okay, that's different. Where's that coming from? So we'll see. We will see. Good thing about this time of year is it's, obviously the hottest time of year. It's not been too bad lately. We get a breeze here every day. Yesterday was actually breezy all day, which is pretty cool. But we get a breeze very regularly. Mornings almost always, evenings sometimes as well. I'm actually waiting for it this evening. Hadn't showed up yet, but it'll probably come through. It might be right in front of that storm. It might be minutes or seconds ahead of the rain. Who knows? But the good thing about it raining so much this time of year is it's the hottest time of year and it just never dries out. Things stay very lush, very green. So I'm thankful for that. We do have sprinklers if we need them, but I have them turned off right now. There's no reason for it. So the interesting thing, I'm from the Midwest, from Indianapolis originally, and I'm just going to kind of ballpark these numbers as I remember them. Let's say we get 22 inches of rain a year back home. I think it's double here, and it does rain more often certain times of year, but the ability for the sky to dump inches of rain in an incredibly short amount of time, it's pretty awe-inspiring. It's like being in a car wash. So great sleeping conditions for sure. Last night it was about the same time of day when we got hit. It's not every day, but it's pretty regular. It's pretty close. Can be 3-4 days in a row, but even with that, you will see the sun quite a bit. So let me know, have you had this cigar? Has this review provided you anything to think about, whether it's about cigars or something completely different? It's kind of cool. The available light out here as my eye sees it, it's getting pretty dark. As you see on camera in the background, you can see some daylight, but that is the lens of the camera, my friends. It is much darker here in person, and I have some lighting way over there, probably 25 and 40 feet away, kind of up underneath the covered part of this back area. It's not going to really help the camera, but at least I can see if I got to grab this beautiful piece of equipment and make a run for it. So hope this is enjoyable for you. If you like it, I'll do more reviews. I'll do more reviews for sure. Let me know. If you haven't already, I would suggest you like, subscribe, share, see what we got going on. And check out the other videos on this playlist. This is a Smoke, Flow, and Grow playlist. And again, the idea here is it's a bit of me, Jason Wright, if you don't know me. It's a bit of me unplugged. It's unscripted, uncut, unedited as far as the things I say or how I say them. And that's the point, my friends. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.